Have you ever wondered why college is so expensive? It feels like tuition keeps rising and students are left with piles of debt. But why is this happening? And why are private universities often even more expensive than public ones? Let's dig into the reasons behind the high cost of higher education. Let's start with public colleges. One of the biggest reasons for the rising cost is the decline in state funding. Decades ago, public universities received significant financial support from state governments. In the 70s and 80s, states covered much of the cost, so tuition was relatively low. But over the years, state funding has been slashed. As states struggled with budget cuts, higher education often became one of the first things to go. To make up for this lost revenue, public colleges turned to students and their families, raising tuition to fill the funding gap. And the contrast between public universities and private universities are quite interesting. Private universities do not rely on state funding at all. Instead, they depend on tuition, private donations, and endowments. But because they don't get government subsidies, their starting tuition is often much higher. While some of the top private universities have large endowments to offer scholarships, many smaller private schools rely heavily on student tuition to stay afloat. Another major reason college costs have ballooned is rising administrative costs. Over time, universities have expanded their administrative departments, hiring more staff to manage everything from marketing and admissions to student services. These new hires are often non-teaching staff, which increases the operational cost of running the institution. Colleges have also been investing heavily in campus amenities. To attract more students, they're offering luxury dorms, high-end dining options, fancy gyms, and even lazy rivers. While these features may make college life more comfortable, they also contribute to higher tuition prices. The competition for students is fierce, especially for private schools. Many private universities have joined this amenities arms race to attract students, which can lead to even higher costs than at public universities. Since private schools have smaller student bodies, their cost per student for these amenities is higher, which is reflected in the tuition. Both public and private universities compete to attract top professors and researchers, and to do that, they need to offer competitive salaries. Research universities, in particular, spend a lot on maintaining cutting-edge labs and technology. This drives up costs for both types of institutions. However, there's a slight difference between public and private universities. Public schools often have larger classes and less faculty-student interaction, allowing them to spread these costs over more students. In contrast, private schools often offer smaller class sizes and more personalized attention, which means higher costs per student. Another significant factor driving up tuition is the student loan system. The availability of student loans has made it easier for students to afford college. While that's helpful, it's also had an unintended side effect. Universities know that students can borrow money to pay for school, so they've steadily increased prices, knowing that students will still be able to enroll. This has contributed to tuition inflation. And as a result, private universities often require students to take out larger loans due to their higher tuition cost. While they may offer more scholarships and financial aid than public schools, the sticker price at private institutions is often much higher, leading to larger loan amounts for students who don't qualify for significant aid. Now, let's talk about the numbers. On average, public universities charge significantly lower tuition compared to private institutions. According to the College Board, the average annual tuition and fees at a public four-year university for in-state students is around $10,500, while out-of-state students pay about $27,000. In contrast, the average annual tuition and fees at private universities are around $39,400. Nearly 4 times more than in-state public tuition. Over the course of 4 years, a private university education can cost $150K or more, while a public university might cost as little as $40K for in-state students. That's a huge difference. And that's not even including additional costs like room, board, books, and other fees, which can push the total cost of attendance even higher. So while private universities may offer more scholarships, the overall cost tends to be significantly higher than public universities. Another reason private universities often charge more is the prestige factor. Many private schools market themselves as offering a more elite, specialized education. Students and parents often believe that attending a prestigious private institution will lead to better job prospects, which justifies the higher cost in their minds. In reality, while private universities may have smaller classes or more personalized attention, the difference in outcomes between private and public schools isn't always as significant as people think. So why is college so expensive? It's a combination of reduced state funding for public universities, rising administrative costs, the race for luxurious amenities, the competitive job market for professors, and a student loan system that allows tuition to climb higher and higher. Public universities may start with lower tuition due to state funding, but private colleges, which don't receive that support, often rely more heavily on tuition dollars and offer different types of financial aid packages. Both types of institutions face similar pressures, but in the end, the question still remains, how can we make higher education more affordable for everyone? Whether through increasing state funding, rethinking the amenities race, or reforming the student loan system, the solution is complex, but crucial for the future of education. If you found this video helpful at all, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching.